Good morning. Welcome to the second edition of 5 Minutes or Less. I heard from so many people the other day when we talked about prayer that it made me really happy. But some of you don't know me. I'm Marilyn Faulkner, and I'm the author of the User-Friendly Book of Mormon and the User-Friendly Old Testament, and currently working on the third in the series, the User-Friendly New Testament. You can get them on Amazon, and you can find me, my website, marilyngreenfaulkner.com. So with that said, let's talk a little bit more about prayer. Now, what happens when you get what you want, you don't get what you want, is sometimes called a miracle. And I just want to ask today for you to think about the difference between a miracle and a sign. I'm writing about the book of John right now, and he uses the word sign instead of the word miracle. And he, in fact, the 2nd through 11th chapters of John are called the Book of Signs, where the 7 major miracles that Jesus did that John considers signs. Now, a sign, like a signpost, points us towards something, or a sign, as in a sign and a token, is an indicator of if somebody gives you a sign about something, then it lets you know, like the sign of the cross, lets you know that someone is a Christian. So it's a symbol of something, or it lets you know where the message is coming from. So God uses miracles as signs to point the way to him. And just like prayers, miracles may not always give you what you want, but the miraculous part is that God is there letting you know that he's there, and that sign points you toward him. So we can think of examples of miracles that happen where we get what we want, and we can think of examples of miracles that happen that we don't get what we want, but God is still involved. And I think one of the particular signs that Jesus was involved in, the one where he fed 4,000 or 5,000 people, plus wives and kids, there may have been as many as 10,000 or 15,000. So we're talking about a big crowd. And after this happens, of course, these people who are poor and don't have anything think we have found the Messiah. And just like the Israelites of old, he's going to feed us from now on. We're going to get bread every day. So they come back to him and they try to con him into giving them more bread. But the old days of 40 years of manna are over, and Jesus gives them the bad news. And he says this to him, I tell you the truth. I'm in John 6:26. You want to be with me because I fed you, not because you understood the miraculous signs. And so the thing is, we don't want to be these people, right? We don't want to be people who don't understand the miraculous signs. So I thought an interesting thing to do today, grab a piece of paper or your journal and write down, see if you've got 7. It'd be cool if you had 7. Write down the signs, the miraculous signs that you can remember from your life where God has let you know that he was right there. And then tell somebody about them. So by way of example, I'm going to tell you about the first one I can remember. I was 6 years old. I had 5 brothers, and not that they weren't nice people, but I just longed for a sister. We were sitting at dinner one night. We knew something was wrong because my mother had made breakfast for dinner, which she did when she didn't feel well. And she told my father it was time to go to the hospital. She was having a 7th child. And she turned around as she was leaving and said, put Marilyn to bed. She doesn't look well. So my older brothers got me in my little yellow-footed jammies and put me in bed. And I began to run a fever, and I had what were called the 2-week measles. We don't even have those anymore, but I had them. And I was very sad. I knew my mother would be gone for a long time. And I do remember that I got out of my bed in my little jammies, and I got on my knees, and that's the first prayer that I can really remember giving. And I begged Heavenly Father for a sister. That's what I wanted. And it so happened that while I was on my knees praying, and I think that's why I remember the prayer, the phone rang. And in those days, the phone, was downstairs in the hall on a table. And I heard my brother Steve answer the phone, and his happy voice came right, yelling up the stairs, Marilyn, it's a girl. Now, question, did Heavenly Father make the baby into a girl just so that I could have a miracle? No, the baby was already a girl. Did Heavenly Father do anything in the laws of the universe? Maybe not, but he loved me. His eye was on me like it is on the sparrow. And he nudged me out of bed, I think, so I would be having that prayer when that phone rang, and I would make a connection. I would make the connection that Heavenly Father knew I was there. Now, just for fun today, I'd like you to make that connection. When can you look back in your life and say, here was a moment. I knew he was there. I knew he was close to me. And it may be as interesting to you as it is to me that many of those moments may have been when you were not getting what you wanted, but were in fact really in trouble. So the miracles, the miraculous signs that point us to Jesus, are maybe not always when things turn out great, not always when you get as wonderful a sister as I got and have loved all my life. But when Heavenly Father lets you know that He is there, He's close, and His eye is on you. If you record those, think about them, and be thankful for them, and tell people about them, a few more might occur. I think that's how we make more happen. A little bit more about miracles next time we talk. I'm really interested in how angels come into this question, and very interested to hear what you think. I loved your comments. Let's keep talking. Okay, that was over 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 31 seconds. Sorry.